This landfill in southern Wales might be the most expensive in the world. In 2013, an IT engineer's girlfriend threw out trash that years later would shift the paradigm of his life and the crypto world. In 2013, James Howell's girlfriend threw out trash in a black bag containing computer parts in what she thought was just junk. However, unbeknownst to them, the trash bag contained Thomas Howell's hard drive in which he had stored the record of private keys to his crypto Bitcoin digital wallet, which is used to access his 8,000 Bitcoins, which he mined back in 2009 as an early adopter of Bitcoin. That 8,000 Bitcoins is now worth a reported £620 million. The hard drive would end up in the Docksway landfill, which is under the authority of the Newport City Council in southern Wales. Following this revelation, Mr. Howell will begin the unrelenting, arduous task of retrieving the hard drive. He would petition the Newport City Council to grant him an environmental permit so as to excavate the landfill in search of his newfound fortune given the skyrocketing prices of Bitcoin. But did I say that this was an arduous task? Well, this is because the landfill covered an area of 1.4 million tons of waste, which became strong grounds for the Newport City Council to deny him an environmental permit, as they claimed that such an excavation would cause a huge negative environmental impact to the surrounding area. The council also claimed that the land remediation would run the costs up into millions of pounds. This process of land remediation included the digging up, which would expose the area to dangerous toxic waste. The land remediation process also included treating the waste, and it also included restoring the landfill. However, Mr. Howell would counter these arguments by claiming that the excavation would be self-funded. Having already acquired $13 million allegedly from a group of US hedge funds, he also stated that he had narrowed down the location of the hard drive from the 1.4 million tons to an area size of 100,000 tons of waste. He would further sweeten the deal by purporting to donate 25% of the Bitcoin wealth to the city council for the benefit of the community. He planned to change the community into a crypto hub, but if you can read between the lines, the subtext is obviously that this donation was mostly a bribe. However, the city council didn't take the bait and remained adamant that the excavation was an environmental hazard and that the environmental risk outweighed the benefit of the 25% donation, which was later slashed to 10% given the adamant position of the city council. The city council argued that it was outside the realm of possibilities to grant the permission for excavation because there was no guarantee of ever finding the hard drive with the 8,000 Bitcoins. Now, for a decade, the two parties went back and forth until recently when Mr. Howell sued the city council at the High Court, claiming that the city council had denied him an environmental permit, which essentially denied him of the legal right to access the landfill so that he could access his property, that is, the 8,000 Bitcoins. He further demanded a £495 million compensation for the refusal to grant him a permit. However, the city council argued that once the hard drive was in the landfill, it became the property of the city council, and only the city council was authorized to carry out operations on the site. Recently, the High Court passed a judgment in favor of the city council, dismissing Mr. Howell's case and asserting that the council cannot be compelled to grant a permit to search the landfill for the 8,000 Bitcoins, and the court also dismissed the £495 million compensation claim. Now, given the prevailing court judgment, time is running out for Mr. Howell. This is because the city council plans to shut down the landfill in the financial year 2025-2026 to set up a solar power plant that will be used to power the city council's bin lorries. This has prompted Mr. Howell to improvise, given that he has few options left, in which he has already started floating the ideas to the council. Now, one of his grand plans is to buy the landfill, given that he had already put up $70 million allegedly as an offer in 2021 to get permission to excavate the landfill. Further, he has devised a scheme to use artificial intelligence to filter through the rubbish on a conveyor belt in search of the hard drive worth £600 million. Further, he wants to employ robot dogs that will be fitted with roaming cameras for security purposes and also for the purposes of scanning the ground in search of the hard drive. He has also planned to hire environmental and data experts to address the environmental impact of the excavation. If you thought this plan was similar to Icarus flying close to the sun, his last resort is more appalling, as he has vowed to appeal the High Court judgment, given that he has professed that he has a battery of lawyers ready to fight for his cause up to the Supreme Court. Now, this should be read against the backdrop of the High Court's judgment stating that he has no reasonable grounds to bring up this claim and that he has no realistic prospect of succeeding at a full trial. That is what the High Court stated when they dismissed his case. But James Howell isn't the only Bitcoin millionaire who lost his private keys. Another technophile, Stefan Thomas, also lost 7,002 Bitcoins after storing the digital keys in an ultra-secure digital crypto wallet storage device dubbed ironkey, which he had reportedly helped co-create. It all started in 2010 when Stefan made a short 1-minute video about Bitcoin, and in 2011 he was awarded 7,002 Bitcoins for his educational video about the novel digital currency. He stored the 7,002 Bitcoins private keys on his ironkey USB drive, which boasts of protecting sensitive information through encryption in light of online threats and crypto theft. But the problem is, if the password is forgotten, the account only grants you 10 attempts to regain access into your account. Stefan has employed every tactic over a decade, including reportedly brute force attacks, to guess the password to gain access to his private keys. Unfortunately, he only remains with 2 more attempts to gain access to his $400 million worth of Bitcoin, following which his account will be locked permanently.